Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. We are from Group 77. We are present about SDG 16. This is all group member.
Okay, now I will explain what is SDG 16, Peace, Justice and Strong Institution. So the Sustainable Development Goal 16, also known as SDG 16, is one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations in 2015. It focuses on promoting peaceful and inclusive society for sustainable development, providing access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. And the key target of SDG 16 include reduce violence, ending abuse and exploitations, promoting the rules of law, ensuring equal access to justice, reducing corruptions, and develop effective and transparent institutions. Okay, now I will explain why the SDG 16 is important. And the first reason is because the forcible displacement. With a record of 100 million people forcibly displaced worldwide, addressing the root cause of conflict and violence is essential to reduce the displacement and promote stability. And the second reason is about global homicide rate. Although there has been a decline in the global homicide rate, continued efforts are needed to sustain and further this progress, ensuring the safety communities. And the third reason is the fear of violence. Appropriate one-third of world populations predominantly women, fear walking alone in their neighborhood at night. This highlights the need for safer and more secure environments to promote gender equality and social well-being. And the last reason is about the corruptions. And corruption is a pervasive, with nearly 1 in 6 business experiencing bright requests from public officials. Combating corruption is vital to building effective, accountable, and transparent institutions. Okay, now let us proceed to the target and goals for the SDG 16. Focus on peace, justice, and strong institutions. Include the first target, reduce the violence in any form of anywhere. The second one, ending abuse and exploitation against children. And the third one, promoting the rules and law at the national and international levels to ensure equal access to justice for all. And then is the reducing corruption. And also the target 5, sustainability, reduce corruption and bribery in all forms. And the target 6, develop effective institution at all levels. Then the target 6 is developing effective institutions at all levels. Target 7, ensuring inclusive decision making at all levels. Target 8, strengthening participation in global governance, ensuring their voice and are heard and considered in international decision making. Target 9, providing universal legal identity, including birth registrations to protect the rights and provide access to service and opportunity. Target 10, public access to information and protect fundamental freedoms. And target 16A, strengthen national institutions including through international cooperations for building capacity at all levels. Target 16B, promoting and enforcing non-discriminatory law and policy for sustainable development to ensure equality and eliminate discrimination in all its forms. And now I will explain an issue related to this SDG. And the first issue is conflict and violence. Ongoing conflicts and violence lead to widespread suffering, displacement, and loss of life. They undermine social stability and economic development, perpetuating cycle of poverty and insecurity. And the second conflict is weak governance. And weak governance results in ineffective institutions, corruptions, and lack of accountability which erode public trust and hinder sustainable developments. And the third conflict is human rights violations. And human rights violations, including discriminations, abuse, and lack of access to justice, marginalize vulnerability populations and prevent society from achieve equality and inclusive development. And the issue number 4 is the child abuse and exploitation. And children worldwide face abuse, exploitation, and trafficking, which deprive them of their right, education, and future opportunity. And the issue 5 is the violence against women and girls. And they frequently experience violence and abuse, including domestic violence and sexual exploitation. And these violations undermine the safety, health, and participation in society. And the last issue is underrepresentation of women in leadership. Women are underrepresented in leadership roles across political, economic, and social sector.
Data of peace, justice, and strong institution. First, peaceful societies. According to the Global Peace Index 2020, which ranks 163 independent states and territories according to their level of peacefulness, Iceland, New Zealand, and Portugal were ranked as the most peaceful countries. Conversely, Afghanistan, Syria, and South Sudan were among the least peaceful nations. Second, access to justice. The World Justice Project Rule of Law index measures how the rule of law is experienced and perceived by the general public in 128 countries and jurisdictions worldwide. It assesses factors such as absence of corruption, fundamental rights, order and security, and civil justice. In 2020, Denmark, Norway, and Finland were ranked as the top 3 countries for overall rule of law, while Venezuela, Cambodia, and Zimbabwe ranked lower. Data of quality education. First, conflict and violence. The United Nations Office on Drug and Crime (UNODC) collect data on homicide, conflict-related violence, and other forms of crime. For example, the Global Study on Homicide report that in 2019, the global homicide rate was 6.1 per 100,000 population, with higher rates observed in regions affected by conflict and organized crime. Second, corruption. Transparency International Corruption Perception Index (CPI) rank countries and territories based on the perceived levels of public sector cooperation. In 2020, Denmark, New Zealand, and Finland were perceived as the least corrupt countries, while Somalia, South Sudan, and Syria were perceived as the most corrupt. Impacts and causes SDG 16. There are many impact and causes about SDG 16. First, peace and stability. Achieving SDG 60 can lead to reduced level of violence, conflict and insecurity, fostering peace and stability within community and nation. Second, inclusive societies. By promoting inclusivity and non-discrimination, SDG 16 aim to create societies where everyone, regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, or socio-economic status, can participate and thrive. Third, access to justice. Implementing the SDG 60 can improve access to justice for all individuals, including marginalized and vulnerable groups, ensuring their rights are protected and upheld. Next, the impact and causes of SDG 16 is conflict and violence. Factors such as unresolved conflicts, political instability, and society inequality can contribute to high level of violence and insecurity, hindering progress toward peaceful societies. And the next of the impact and causes of SDG 16 is lack of access to justice. Limited access to legal service, discriminatory law, and weak judicial system can prevent individuals from exercising their right and seeking justice, perpetuating injustice and inequality. And the last of the impact and causes about SDG 16 is corruption and mismanagement. Cooperation with the institution undermines their effectiveness and erodes public trust, leading to inefficiency, inequality, and a lack of accountability.
Hi everyone, this is Wu Ziyu. Political instability and conflict are major challenges to achieving SDG 16. Many regions struggle with ongoing conflicts, making it difficult to maintain peace and security. Stabilizing governments and promoting peaceful conflict resolutions are essential steps. Inclusive political process ensure all voices are heard, fostering lasting peace. Corruption and lack of transparency undermine institutions and erode public trust. Promoting transparency and accountability is crucial. Implementing anti-corruption measures and fostering a culture of integrity can restore faith in institutions. Weak legal systems hinder the rule of law. Strengthening legal frameworks and improving access to justice are vital. Ensuring effective law enforcement builds trust in the legal system and achieves sustainable peace and justice. Social exclusion and discrimination exacerbate inequalities. Promoting inclusive policies and tackling discrimination build more equitable societies. Effective governance and institutional development are key to addressing these issues.
Assalamualaikum. I am Nurfatina Suha binti Sayuti and will continue the presentation regarding the example of SDG 16 activity done in Malaysia. Among the first example is the anti-corruption campaign. The anti-corruption campaign is very important to be organized because it is an effort to explain the evils of the symptoms of corruption, especially those classified as accepting or giving bribes, misuse of power, and malpractice, which needs to be implemented more aggressively and creatively. This will reduce corruption as well as develop more effective and responsible institutions at all levels. The second activity is the Sexual Harassment Forum. A forum on sexual harassment is very important to be held in Malaysia because it can make the community aware of sexual harassment. Sexual harassment is a form of violence and discrimination in gender inequality. Therefore, activities such as the forum can combat terrorism, including sexual harassment, in order to achieve SDG 16. The last activity is Run for Peace. Run for Peace is an activity that has contributed to SDG 16. This is because the activity has a powerful and inspiring concept to promote peace, unity, and understanding. For example, like a marathon, a charity run, a symbolic staff walk, and many more. Therefore, this activity can create a positive change and work towards a more peaceful and directions. The next slide is about actions to improve peace, justice, and strong institutions. All parties, such as individuals, society, education, and government, play a very important role in improving SDG 16. One of the roles of individuals is to understand the laws and regulations that apply in this country. This is so that they do not commit any crime or violate the law that has been established so that the country is in a state of peace. Individuals need to report suspicious activities or threats to the authorities, such as bribery and more. This situation can give birth to a society with more trust and integrity in order to strengthen institutions. The role of society is to live unity to maintain peace, justice, and strong institutions. This matter is important because society in Malaysia consists of various races. They need to live in harmony without fighting so that the peace of the country can be maintained. The role of education is also important for students at school because schools need to increasing and apply understanding of the importance of peace and justice among students. For example, applying it in subjects or establishing clubs and associations, this can indirectly improve their understanding of SDG 16. The last role is the government. The government is implementing an important actions to improve SDG 16, which is to strengthen the law. This matter is important so that the community can comply with the laws that have been set in the country. When legal action is taken, then the community will be afraid to commit wrongdoing such as violence, crime, and more. In addition, the government needs to hold campaigns and forums related to SDG 16. This situation can help the country achieve the development goals of SDG 16. The next slide is about what are things we as students can do to align with SDG 16. Among the activities students can do is spread awareness to the community about issues closely related to SDG 16 on social media. This is so that the community can open their eyes to what is happening in the country. For example, sharing statistics about crime or violence rates. When this situation occurs, the community will try to stop it so that the country is peaceful and harmonious. Apart from that is living together without discrimination between different races. For example, students who continue their studies at university need to get along with each other without racial discrimination so that students can live harmonious without fighting. Last but not least, join a student organization at the university that focus on human rights, peace, and justice. With the activities as stated, people who live in difficult conditions will feel fair because they are not marginalized from society. Therefore, the poor will get justice and human rights. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Ainadilah binti Azman, and I will continue these presentations with the question: can we achieve SDG 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions? And the answer for these questions is yes, it is possible with the joint effort of government, civil society, private sector, or non-government organizations, and individual itself. Even though it's quite challenging, but according to the Sustainable Development Goals report in 2023, in order to achieve Goal 16 by 2030, action must be taken to restore trust and improve institutional capacity to ensure justice for everyone and promote peaceful transitions to sustainable development. Hence, strong political commitment, international cooperation, community empowerment, investment in education, and the utilizations of technology and innovation are crucial for advancing SDG 16. Here are some international examples to promote peace, justice, and strong institutions. The first one is the National Colloquium on Access to Justice that happened in Kuching, Sarawak. Second example is bilateral meeting between Bangladesh and Malaysia to encounter human trafficking. The meeting is the first bilateral exchange between Royal Malaysia Police and Bangladesh Police Specialist Anti-Trafficking Units. The third example is the workshop on human rights law and technology mediated expressions in Southeast and South Asia. Our fourth example is the sharing season about the experience of fighting corruption with the Vietnam Government Inspectorate. And last but not least is the International Corruption Perceptions Index that can be easily accessed by everyone through online. Next, I would like to share some actions on how to make sustainability a part of our work culture. The first action is to build trust among employees. Transparency and participation in the creation of strategies promote trust, which can improve social sustainability, encourage executives to work alongside with employees to reduce hierarchical barriers, foster an open culture and collaborative progress. The second action is to commit to fair salaries. Fair pay is crucial for valuing employees and reducing turnover. It should be appropriate to industry standard and consider responsibility and skill sets. Transparent pay structure promote a healthy work environment, trust and respect for employees' intelligence and value. Eliminating secrecy about pay structure is also beneficial so that there's no salary deviations happen.
My name is Bhavani Ravi with metric number 161835, and I will be presenting the next way to make sustainability a part of your work culture. The third way will be promote gender equality. Institutions should strive to provide equal opportunities for individuals of all genders to participate and excel in various roles and positions. This includes recruitment, hiring, promotion, and leadership positions. By ensuring that there are no barriers or biases based on gender, institutions can create a level playing field where talent and merit are the primary determinant of success. Next, the fourth way to make sustainability a part of your work culture will be support human rights and labor rights. Respect and promote human rights and labor rights within your organization and throughout your supply chain. Ensure that employees are treated with dignity and respect, and advocate for fair wages, safe working conditions, and equal opportunities for all. The fifth way to make sustainability a part of your work culture is combat corruption and bribery. Take a zero-tolerance approach to corruption and bribery in the workplace. Implement anti-corruption policies and procedures. Provide training to employees on ethical conduct and compliance with laws and regulations, and encourage the reporting of any suspected instances of corruption or unethical behavior.